Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Sunday, September the 8th, race number 9 at Kentucky Downs. Let's take a look at the field for the $600,000 Dueling Grounds Derby. We're going 10.5 furlongs over the European-like configuration on the turf course at Kentucky Downs. It is a full field morning line favorite down towards the inside for Todd Pletcher. That is the number 1, Social Paranoia. And Social Paranoia, only 1 for 10 lifetime, arguably one of the better non-winners of 2 life horses in the country.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Ever since he broke his maiden with a big figure off the layoff this year, they just run him in one tough spot after another. He's run well in all those races, just hasn't won any of them.
I liked his Belmont Derby 2 starts back. He was outside. He actually made a bid to the front in mid-stretch, and the honest Henley's Joy ran him down. We'll go back to his most recent start in the Saratoga Derby. Good trip, I thought Manny Franco gave him. Saving ground in behind the lead. He had the second best trip, I thought. Unfortunately for him, the best trip went to A Thread of Blue, who was on front and was just able to take this field gate to wire. Social Paranoia, I like him. At 2-1, I like him less. I am concerned about the 10.5 over this demanding course.
I am too. The distance for me is a big question for him. I do think, we'll see how this all plays out. I do think he's the most talented horse in the race. We'll just see if the distance winds up getting him beaten here.
Wonder if the 2 Armistice Day needs a little bit of cut in the ground. He showed vast improvement last time out at Woodbine over good going in the Toronto Cup. Let's take a look at that race. They got him forward in here, and he was pressing the pace on the outside. He's going to be taking over the lead, turning into the stretch, and he gives a nice, honest kick to hold off this field. I'm not sure this was the greatest field in the world in the Toronto Cup. This is going to be a much tougher spot, but I respect Barb Minchell, a very underrated trainer.
I do too. And I thought he ran well in here. He got an absolutely perfect trip in this race. And you'll see him through the stretch here. He's not, getting away from these horses. He's not winning all that impressively, but it's really not that close at the end either. A nice step in the right direction for this horse, I thought.
The 3 is Bundabunan, and this is a horse that just doesn't have a lot of speed. And he's really going to be at the mercy of race and pace luck. Timeform US, is pace projector is out, and as we see, Bundabunan is at the back of the pack. We do not see a red bar indicating that Timeform US believes that the pace will be fast. I thought this horse ran okay at Churchill Downs 2 starts back. I guess he has the pedigree to improve as the distances increase. I just think he's going to need a little bit of help from a trip standpoint.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he needs something to break his way, because I don't know that he matches up all that well with his field. His running style works against him, and he still has to answer the distance question as well.
Fort Temple is dangerous for a few reasons. A, he is very, very sharp. He has won his last 3 races. B, as you can see by the little chiclet on the pace projector, he can stay relatively close to the pace. And 3, he was recently claimed by Michael Maker. And how many times have we seen Maker claim horses, stretch them out significantly in distance, and make hay in big pot races such as this? Let's go back to Temple's most recent race. Yes, it is a beaten claimer at Gulfstream. Watch the way this horse flies through the stretch. He destroys this field.
Yeah, he was really impressive. I was impressed with his prior 2 wins, and he was impressive again in this race, claimed by Maker for all the reasons that you have already laid out. I think he's a dangerous horse in here at a price.
Limonite, the number 5, goes out for the Asmussen barn. Graded stakes place on dirt as a 2-year-old. I'm not sure he's really moved that much further along at 3. His most recent start was the Hall of Fame at Saratoga on the turf. And as we swing into the stretch, we see he has no speed. This is just his running style. He is last on the rail, and we're going to see him try to pick his way through traffic. He's now inside. He's going to sort of alter to the outside. I guess some folks are going to say he never really got a clear stretch run. I would have liked to have seen kick a little more, though.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'm not sure that I feel like he really improved that much on turf. He was totally outrun early in this race, which was a big problem for him. This was not the Hall of Fame, not the kind of race you wanted to be closing into necessarily. It really held together up front. I guess if you like him, you want to give him another shot. I'm not going to argue with it. I just didn't love his turf debut that much.
We talked about Michael Maker having Temple, the 4 in this race. He also has the 6, Channel Island. And if you're banking on Channel Island, you're hoping that Andy Beyer was right about his last race. His first start against Winners, where he improved his Beyer speed figure to a competitive 89. We look at the stretch run of this race. He was merely even. I thought he had a good trip. You see him in the grids. He's easing to the outside right now. And I don't know, Mike. I thought he ran okay. I wanted to actually see a little bit more of a kick, but to me, this is kind of a grindy sort that's going to have to do something a little bit better. He's third right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I guess he ran fine. The horses that ran 1, 2 in there, they're both okay. I don't know if either one of them are stakes horses necessarily, but they're pretty good. And this horse has improved since Maker's taken over. I'm just not sure how good he is.
Just have a feeling, though, the distance in this course configuration works to his favor. You look at his pedigree. I mean, he has a really nice, classy, distance-oriented pedigree. Rise the Guy is the 8. I thought Rise the Guy had a great trip, too, back at Churchill Downs. I mean, he ran at the end of that race to win that non-winners of one other than. They ran him in the Secretariat. I don't think that trip worked out. Do you disagree?
I don't disagree. I don't think he was ever going to get anything in there anyway, but he didn't get a great trip. He got a perfect trip, 2 back when he won. We'll see what happens. He's got to stretch way out here.
Bad Boy's lone win came at Saratoga for a 62.5 tag. He was then dropped in for 50, and he was taken by Joe Sharp. And we're going to watch that race right now. And sort of like with Channel Island, this is a horse that just seems to grind along. Pink cap, yellow blinkers, getting to the outside right now, just one pace in the lane.
Yeah, I mean, he was along late when he broke his maiden 2 starts back, and here he's just trying to stay on at the end. He's not doing it very quickly, but he is staying on to the end. The distance you don't worry about with him. It's just a question of whether he classes up with these horses.
The 9 Journeyman could easily have run in the Grade 3 British Columbia Derby, I believe, up at Hastings Park. Mm-hmm. I think they've had enough of Western Canada after that disqualification call went against him. It was a rather controversial one. The good news is this horse can step on turf. He's got a big pedigree, and he's all upside.
Yeah, and he went the distance last time, too. So there are a lot of things to like about him. He is a pretty good turf horse. He makes it very close in his races. That is something to worry about. But this horse is not without ability. I could use him somewhere.
I really liked Kid Lemuel's race 3 starts back at Churchill Downs, where he just came rolling on the outside and drove past those horses. He then ran on dirt. He ran okay. I was looking forward to seeing what he could do at Saratoga. And the answer is, he didn't really do very much. We watched this race. He had a good trip, I thought, mostly down towards the inside. He gets out in the lane. It looks like Kid Lemuel, who is the number 4 in this race, has got a shot at the gray, and they're just going by him.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have a big excuse in here. Some okay horses in this race, but I didn't think it was, the greatest allowance field in the world. I was pretty disappointed in his effort here.
The Dueling Grounds Derby, race number 9, wide open field. You can go so many different ways. We'll take a look at our top selections right now. For me, I want to give Channel Island a chance, and I'm hoping that buyer speed figure is right, because if it's a complete outlier, he's in big trouble because he's got a lot to find against some good horses. But I just think the distance could be a great equalizer for him. Social Paranoia, your top selection, very dangerous. He's my second pick. I went 6-1, 5-10.
Yeah, listen, I don't have any problem with anybody taking a shot in this race. And I'm not, Social Paranoia's biggest fan. I don't know. I didn't see the right alternative for me, Dan. I put the number 4 Temple second. And when I'm putting that horse second, I'm probably not going to bet him to win. I'll just take the favorite on top. I went 1, 4, and 9.
Social Paranoia for Todd Pletcher. Morning line favorite, Mike Beer's top pick, $600,000 Dueling Grounds Derby. Your Sunday DRFBets race of the day with an approximate post of 4:48 Central. Good luck.